411 and welcome to this week's Sip and Chat. And we had to do a little bit a different schedule. We're usually on the um Thursdays we do the Sip and Chat, but you know, it was a holiday on Thursday. So that's the reason why we're here and we're waiting for my wonderful co-host, Miss Nexie. So in the meantime, we'll do a little chit chat while we wait for Miss Nexie. I want to say, hey everybody, it's Marlene of Love Marlene 411, where we talk about all of the love things over here. The love for yourself, for your children, your spouse, significant other, your friends, your relatives, any human being, because when we learn to fix, to heal, to support our mental health, to talk about real topics that's going on in today's society, we become better people and know how to love others. Okay. That is so very important. So, welcome to today's Sip and Chat. I appreciate every single one of you for being here, for supporting me and supporting this channel. So, while we wait on Miss Nexie, this we're going to be talking today about a topic that for so many people, I know myself, I grew up in the generation where it was so many things that people concentrated on. But before all of those things, let's talk about what today's title is. Today's topic is quitting society's beauty standards and upkeep. Okay. Quitting today's today's quitting society's beauty standards and upkeep. Okay. And the reason why I wanted to talk about this is because I remember when I was young, probably from the time I was 10 years old, I was always I put so much energy into what society thinks is acceptable. And nobody really talks about it, but it's a lot of pressure for young people. It's a lot of pressure for people who are past their youth, but it's a lot of pressure and it's a lot of stress. And I want to talk about that. And I think that it's so important that we have this conversation and be open about it, because if we don't and pretend that it's not a real thing, then more problems will continue to exist. It's something that we need to be talking with our friends, especially. This topic is especially focused on the ladies, but I know for sure that there's a lot of issues that happens with my male loved ones that society puts pressure on everybody, but I can only speak for what I know. Okay. And one of the things that I know for sure is that today's society stresses out people and makes people feel that they have to look, think, and be a certain way in order to be acceptable. And we can never be anything other than who we are. And I wanted to say that because while I'm waiting for my co host, Miss Nexie, I want to say that I grew up having zero self esteem. I didn't grow up loving myself, not because I didn't want to, but when you don't look like people who are on the TV, or when you don't look like how other people deem you to be acceptable, or other people's idea of what beautiful is, you will be miserable your entire life. I wanted to have this conversation because I want to put out there positive reinforcements, self love, encouraging yourself, being aware of your worth, because each and every person um, needs to be shown love, needs to be respected. And if people cannot get respect, you have to get rid of them. Okay. Hi, Yoshi. How are you? Welcome. And that's one of the things that I think it is so important for us to talk about this society's beauty standards. Um, Now, different things, because people who are just naturally very beautiful people, people who are born looking like supermodels, or people who are born looking a certain way and shape and skin color and hair texture, Everybody's experience is different. And I'm not here to say your experience is better or worse than mine. I'm just speaking on the things that has happened to many people that do not have the courage to say how they feel. It's always amazing, Yoshi. My day is always amazing. How about yourself? So let's get into talking about this topic today. Um, Quitting society's beauty standards and upkeep. So, one of the things that I want to talk about five different reasons why it just does not work and why we have to quit today's society's, you know, beauty standards and upkeep. Five reasons, which I'm waiting for my co host to talk about those things. But I do want to say if you ever been around a lot of people, hey, realist, how are you? Welcome. Happy Saturday on a different day today, right? But I did want to say this growing up in a society when society doesn't look like you, when society is not very accepting, it's tough for young people. It's tough for young people because you already have all of these things going on in your mind. And I want to have that conversation today. You guys, as you can see, I'm a Black woman. As a little girl growing up, and I would look at what society deemed beautiful, what they would put on the TV, and what was in magazines because I didn't grow up in a social media. You know, when I was younger, it was about what was in magazines, what was on the TV and movies, and what is in the movies and the music scene. And when I was younger, it was not a lot of representation. It was usually a lighter skin tone. It was usually somebody who was very thin. Um, and all of those things, none of those things looked like me. I didn't see a lot of representation of someone melanated, someone um, and if you were melanated, it always was like in a derogatory thing, like you had to be a nanny, or not saying that that's derogatory, but they didn't give like those wonderful roles like melanated people, the roles of being the lawyer or being the entrepreneur, a billionaire, you know, a scientist. It was always something very negative. You always got the bottom of the barrel. So I know when I grew up and looking if that's what is acceptable in society, of course, things have changed now. Hi, Miss Tamika. How are you doing? Welcome. Yes, realist. Thank you so much. Smack the like, everybody. I'd really appreciate it. I know when I was younger, I used to struggle a lot, and whew, it's hard to talk about, but not a lot of people are like me. And that's one of the reasons why I did this platform to have conversations like this. Most of the time, a lot of young girls, melanated of all different, races other than Caucasian, um, go through different struggles. We go through different things. Most of us was not born with a silver spoon in our mouth. Many do not come from a two-parent household. Many struggled financially. Many just did not have certain things. So, just starting off with that, you know, society expecting for you to be like what's on TV that doesn't look like you. Representation really does matter. So I did want to start off this conversation by saying that representation matters. And that's why I like to, yeah, I have my times where I switch my hair, but even being on social media, I like to show other girls that may be younger than me to see, you know, I show my hair, I show when it's natural. I show my hair when it's straight. I show when I wear units, but I want to represent and put it out there. No matter how you wear your hair, young ladies and other ladies and gentlemen, we are beautiful. That's something that society does not say. Society always points that only when hair is straight and long, it's beautiful. So now that the weather is getting colder in my area, you guys are going to start seeing more of my pure natural hair, not straightened. Probably going to have a silk press soon, but all of those things I think is important to show representation of how you really look, how your real hair looks, how you look with makeup on, how you look without makeup on, because I think it's important to show no matter how society says, beauty can be whatever it is that you want it to be, whether you have makeup on, you don't have makeup on, whether you have long hair, you have short hair. It's mainly focusing on your mindset, taking care of you and your mental health, because I was having this conversation with one of my friends, and we were saying that too. We don't really talk about how important having conversations like that, no matter what you look like, no matter what your race is, no matter how much money you have, you are beautiful, you know. And to the gentleman, there's not a lot of accolades that go out to my male loved ones. And to say the same things, there's not a lot of, you know saying, be yourself. You are remarkable, you are a leader. Saying those things, and saying those things to the young boys, to the young girls, develops and turns into, when they get to be 12, 13 years old, they don't need to look for that from somebody else. Speaking on that, that was one of the reasons why I changed my channel over here, because I used to do reviews over here, but I wanted to get back into what is really important. Love is one of the most important things, and I'll just be completely transparent and honest. I didn't grow up knowing what love is. I'll just say it like that. So many of us don't, or we fool ourselves. And I'm not saying that I was abandoned by my parents or anything like that, or I'm trying to be like a scorned, angry Black woman. No, I'm being honest and real. A lot of times, the way we were raised and how we grew up, they didn't talk about certain things. They didn't speak on and tell young girls and young boys that they were smart, that they can do anything, to have courage, have high self esteem, believe in yourself even when other people don't. And that's the reason why I have my platform, because I grew up that way. I was never told growing up that I was loved, that I was special, that I could do anything that I wanted to do, but I would see it on TV, those cookie cutter lives, the big mansions and people having endless money and having a chauffeur. That's not realistic. It's not real. Hey Robert, how are you doing? Welcome. And I think it's important for us to have real conversations about what life really is like in a real day-to-day life. And for most of us who weren't born with a spoon in our mouth, silver spoon in our mouth, we have to go out there. You have to work, you have to get education, or you have to run a business. You got to do something. But I wanted to put out there to anybody who's watching, because you never know who watches in the background. You never know who will click on this video. I want to put out there that no matter what you were born into, no matter what your family dynamic, whether it was wonderful and beautiful and loving, or whether it was toxic, now we have the choice as an adult to say, no matter what society says, no matter what my parents said, no matter what other people say, it's about what I think about myself. And I want to send virtual hugs, positivity, and high vibrations because I know full well that the majority of people out there did not grow up in a positive home environment, a positive home life. Okay. And I say that to be real. We have to talk about these things and not pretend like, oh, my life was great and it was perfect. And I know a lot of people, they give the fake stories. It's a lot of fake news on the internet. Oh, no, I had a wonderful life and we all got along. That's a lie. There are no perfect families. And it's something that we all have to learn to stop putting on this facade, this fakeness, and be real. The majority of us grew up messed up in the head, okay? I know I did. I grew up really messed up, and I believe 100% is a miracle that I'm still here. And I know for sure it's a miracle that I'm able to be here in front of other people, encouraging and motivating other people because I didn't get motivated. I didn't get poured into. And it shows me that no matter what you have been through, you can be different. Okay. You can be different from what how you were, your upbringing. You can be different from people who look like you. So I did want to get that off my chest, starting off from the beginning of this discussion, saying that. So representation matters to me. I'm always going to say, no matter what, no matter how I elevate in my life, I'm always going to say that number one, I'm a woman. Number two, I'm a Black woman. Number three, I'm a woman, I'm a Black woman, and I'm a Caribbean woman because you have to go by what you identify with and be proud of your story, be proud of your past. And I know that that sounds like something crazy. How can you be proud of pain? And I'll tell you why I say that. I'm proud of the pain that happened to me because if I didn't go through such a toxic and dysfunctional family unit, I would not have learned how to be strong. I would have not have learned about courage. I would not have put myself in therapy. Okay. I would have made a lot of excuses. Hey, Nancy, how are you? Welcome. I would have made a lot of excuses. I would have played a lot of games. Okay. And I never would have come into a relationship with God. I know that that's for sure, for sure, for sure. Sometimes we have to fall flat on our face so that we can rise up. And it's not that we rise up, it's that God puts us in that place so he can humble us, heal us, and put us back together better than we ever were from the beginning. And that's my testimony. Okay? I know that if I didn't go through what I went through, how could I be able to tell other people to not give up? I don't need to read that in a book. I know about dysfunction. I know about crying. I know about covering my ears and wishing that I could disappear because of the arguing. Oh, here's my co host, Miss Nexie. Let's welcome her to the Sip and Chat. Is she here? Uh oh, what did I do wrong? I don't see her. Try again, Miss Nexie. I don't know. Come back out and I don't know. I thought I pressed to add her. Try again, Miss Nexie. I don't know if I did something wrong. Okay. Hopefully that works this time. I think
There
it did.
you
Hi, Miss Nexie. Are you there? I think you got a little bit of delay. Uh-oh. Okay. Okay. I hear you.
Hopefully, it will start working better. There is some delay.
Hmm. There is some delay. So I'll let you talk for a minute.
How's everybody doing today? I hope you all had a wonderful, wonderful Thanksgiving. I know I had a lot of fun and a lot of food, and I hope everybody else did the same. Drama free. So happy belated Thanksgiving, everybody.
Yes. Yes. Thank you so much. Miss Nexie, welcome to the Sip in Chat. You know what I have to ask you.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. And
Miss
it's not
Nexie.
tequila.
Oh, come on, Miss Nexie. It has to be fun sometimes. You got to throw a monkey wrench in it.
Go ahead, Miss Marlene. Ask me. Ask me what you're
Miss
dying to ask.
Miss Nexie, what are you
Yes, ma'am.
sipping on?
Coffee. Just
Oh,
plain old hot
Miss.
coffee because my throat is killing me. But that's pretty
Oh,
much it. Just coffee with a little bit of honey. And that's it. How about
okay.
you, Miss Marlene? What are you sipping on?
I'm about to show you how boring I am.
Oh my God. Healthy, huh? Oh, I'm sorry.
And I don't like it.
I
I
know
but
that.
yeah, but I don't like it. So
You're being good now. That's a good thing.
yeah, I can't be bad all the time.
It's fun, but it's not worth it.
Yeah, it's not perfect. So I that also to the audience, to all of my loved ones in the chat. What are you guys sipping on this evening? Water, coffee, a little adult beverage? Let me know in the comment section. And hi to everybody who is in the chats. And they're all saying hi to you, Miss Nexty.
Hi, everybody. So, what's our topic today, Miss Marlene?
Oh, got
Uh-oh.
okay. Today's topic is quitting society's beauty standards and upkeep.
Oh, wow, that's a mouthful.
Yep, 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 yep. Okay.
Okay, I have never adhered to them to begin with,
oh,
but
it's a reason why I said quitting because I know you never started, but I'm the person that I was. We're going to talk about all those things, but I'm a
let's
person
do
that
this. Let's do this.
because me and Miss Nexie is the yin and I'm the yang because I'm the person everything. Oh yeah, I'll do that. Oh, I'll do that. I'll do that. And Miss Nexie said, I ain't doing none of that.
we, we balance each other out. I just see all of the different things going through her, and I learn my lesson.
Yes, yes, yes. So okay, Miss Nexie, I looked on the internet and I saw this and I thought it was very appropriate to say there's five different things, five reasons why we should quit society's beauty standards and upkeep. Let's start with the first one. The first one is okay, I'll say this first. Social beauty standards are a social construct that can be difficult to meet.
Yes.
Oh, um, I was buffering for a second. Okay. Difficult to meet, and they have a negative impact on people's mental and their physical health. And why it's so difficult to meet society's beauty standards. The first one, this is a big one. It's unrealistic. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
the today's society wants you to have your waist to be like this. What is that? Like a
Mm-hmm.
4 inches? 4 inches. For a skinny waist, or you have to have hourglass, or you have to have these big. big juicy lips, or you have to have these thick thighs, and all of this with having a flat stomach.
Mhm.
Okay, so Miss Nexie, how are you supposed to keep that up if you're a person like me and you're not exercising, okay, and
Well, I have noticed that there's a lot of
uh-oh, your mic went out,
you
Miss.
know, I'm
Oh, it's back.
sorry, yeah, there's a lot of more plastic surgery going on, right? I'm not saying that we didn't have it back in my day, back in the day. I'm not saying that. There, a lot of people will do the nip and tucks here and there, but what we're seeing now, it's more techniques being perfected or being offered, and they're doing these things, endangering, the lives of people. And we have seen some horror stories, Miss Marlene. We have seen that. But in order for you, like if you're someone that is completely consumed by having that perfect shape, that perfect face, those perfect lips, and you're not born with them, you can risk a lot just to get there. I have seen people. I used to work a long time ago in a plastic surgeon's office, and the things that people do just to achieve just a little bit of happiness for them, because I figure that's what makes them happy, right? But the way they put their body through all of those, horrific procedures, because and they're very painful, so that they
Yeah,
can look the part. They can look like somebody they saw somewhere in a movie, or somebody that they saw in a vacation somewhere, or the TV show so and so has this person and I want to look like that.
yep,
So they go through all of this, and it's not safe. If you're
it's
not
not.
born with it, it's not safe to go through all of this. It's not going to make you happy, because the more you do, the more you're going to want.
Exactly, Miss Nexie. And my thing is why I believe that it's unrealistic to have today's society's beauty standards is because we get older.
Mhm.
We're okay. It's like you can't expect to look how you looked when you were a teenager, when you're in your 20s and your 30s, and people go through, having kids, or you go through major stressful situations, or you go through an illness and a disease. It's unrealistic. When you get older, your body is going to change. It's
Yes.
natural, and it's one of those things that I wanted to say to all the loved ones, to everybody who's in the chat, whether you're now live or watching in the replay. Don't try to keep up being perfect,
You
okay?
can.
Too exhausting. It's too exhausting, and it's not realistic.
There you go. And it's not realistic. And the thing is, I'm a person that enjoys food. I love eating. Like I love food. I'm someone that, can I will try anything once, right? And if I'm gonna go to a restaurant, I'm gonna eat whatever it's on the menu that I want. But sometimes, people go to the extremes of skipping meals and going to different restaurants and just enjoying a little bit of something, but no carbs, no this, no that. They stop enjoying life just to fit a unrealistic and body image or body size, and they stop enjoying life. They stress out about it, and it's not again, it's not worth it. For me, is I'm getting older. I already,
Mhm.
have kids. I'm gonna gain a little bit of more weight now because, menopause and all of those things hit. Your body goes through changes, as you say. And
Mhm.
I've seen women, my age, going above and beyond to try to look 10, 15 years younger.
Mhm.
And skipping, like I said, skipping meals, walking a lot, exercising a lot. I'm not saying exercise is bad. That's not what I'm saying. Just don't
Yeah.
go to the extreme to fit a mold that you will never be able to fit because it's unrealistic.
Yeah. And Miss Nexie, I can speak on this because I've overcome it and I have no problem with sharing this about my past. But you guys know I've said it very many times. I've talked on this having an eating disorder. I grew up with having this idea of what you should look like. And I've
Hmm.
never been a big person, Miss Nexie.
Hmm.
But when you look at girls and they're a 0 and you're a 6, and people are
There
looking at
you go.
it, and you're like, "Oh, that's how," and everybody's always talking about, "Oh, how beautiful they look," and you're like, "I wanna be beautiful like them," and that's how it
Uh-huh.
starts, okay?
Yes.
You don't have the same bone structure, you're probably taller than them, and, let's be honest, people who are Caribbean, we got a little more
More meat.
we got a little more, you know
More meat in the right
more
places. I'm just
more
kidding.
more meat on our bones. So, we're a little bit more, they have more stacking, as I could say.
More healthy, as my father will say. More healthy. And we're
Yeah.
healthier than
Or as
others.
people would say, we have more dunka dunka dunk than others.
Miss
So,
Marlene. Miss Marlene gone wild. Oh my goodness.
hey, this is could qualify as an after dark. So,
Yep. Triple
we
X after dark.
yeah, yeah, we can go there tonight, but hey, Sirius, how are you?
Oh,
Welcome.
hi, Sirius. Hi, Realist. Hi, Miss Tamika.
Nancy said, she said something a little bit ago, and I want to read her comment. She said that she had coffee with cream. Okay, okay. She says it's impossible to keep up with society's standards. Nancy says, yes, people go to such extremes just because of what they think is beautiful. Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. Nancy, that right there. Okay, I'm going to be honest, Miss Nexie. There's certain things I see trends come out where people are doing all this weird stuff. Like, okay, this is Marlene's opinion. This is not Nexie's or anybody else, but we've seen it, Miss Nexie. People are taking from one part of their body, ejecting it into another. You know,
Oh, yep.
yeah, just
Mm.
so that it will appear that one part will be plumper
Mm.
than others. And, for me, that's weird.
It
That's
is.
weird. Yeah, I say that's weird, and everybody can say whatever they want about me, but that's weird. Um, I didn't grow up having like a problem with what people say, oh, have big this, because I was naturally born with those things. But then when you're the only one in a group of people that has those things and they don't have it, I that's why I grew up like being an
Yeah, then you're
outsider.
obsessed. Exactly. Then you're obsessed with, well, nobody else has them, so I don't want them either.
Hmm.
I want to be
Yeah,
like everybody else.
Miss
Well,
Nexie.
you're
Oh, go ahead, Miss
probably
Nexie.
no, no, I was gonna say you're not in an. No wonder you got that disorder because
Uh-oh. Did your mic go out, Miss Nexie? Okay. I think you
go
came
ahead.
back.
Yes, Miss Marlene, I'm back. I'm sorry.
Oh,
I'm
it's
telling you,
okay.
my internet is acting crazy. Go on,
That's
Miss
okay.
Marlene. Go on.
Oh, I was just gonna say this comment that Miss Nancy says she's seen so much go wrong with BBLs and
Mm,
so many other things. Now, don't get me wrong, y'all. I am for you doing a little bit of adjustment if you need to. I'm all for getting the exercise. I'm all for
mm-hmm.
fixing yourself how you want to. I'm all for the healthy, but I'm talking about when people go to extremes. You know how like people they love to be under the knife, so to speak,
Yeah.
because once they start, it's like they see this, oh, and what's this, and fix this, and fix this, and fix this, and fix this. That the majority of them, have you ever seen sometimes like before they even started, they were such beautiful people
Mm-hmm.
that
Don't
before
look
they were even
nothing.
touched.
Yes.
And then when I've seen people go and get all these Miss Nexie. I've seen people, and afterwards, sometimes they start looking like different animals.
Like characters. Yes. Yes.
I'm sorry, Miss Nexie. I'm not trying to be disrespectful here, but
But you,
I've
you know,
seen it.
Miss
You know, I'm
Marlene,
in Florida.
y-
Yeah.
you know, Miss Marlene. Oh yeah. Oh, trust me, I know. And I'm in Cali, so you know what we know. But
Hmm.
let me tell you, I had my three children already, and I was 120 pounds. I
Hmm.
had no eating disorder or anything. I was just very, very skinny. My metabolism was very fast. And people will tell me, like, what kind of diets are you on? Because I mean, I already had the three of them. And I will tell them I don't diet. I don't do that. I wouldn't be able to because I enjoy food so much. Oh, you
Hmm.
probably exercise regularly. No, I don't. I really don't. I go whenever I can. I'm just after my kids all the time, all day long. And, so I wasn't doing any of those things that people will expect from someone my size. I was
Okay.
size two, a size three sometimes. And
Mhm.
again, people will praise me so much. And I will think I'm a, I have I hope, I'm not, th- again, I don't want to sound considered, but I have a healthy brain because if I would have not had a healthy brain, I would have probably said, "Oh my God, that's right, I'm skinny, so I'm gonna do whatever it takes, going forward to maintain this." Or I'm perfect. I'm gonna do whatever it takes to upkeep this. So
Mhm.
as I got older, I had my fourth child, and I got a diagnosis of I got diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis. Once I got that diagnosis, there's a lot of medication and there's a lot of steroids, to bring down the swelling, to make your body heal faster. And I started gaining weight. Because I have a healthy brain, that doesn't affect me. It makes me feel weird because I have never been, someone big, right? I gain weight, yes, but it makes me feel uncomfortable sometimes because of the same people that used to praise me, when I was skinnier or whatever. They would say, "Oh my God, you've gained so much weight. What happened? Are you
Yeah.
okay? You look sick." And I'm thinking, there's no pleasing these people, right? They're still family members, there's still some friends
Mhm.
that say those things. The same people that used to say you look so beautiful. I'm thinking you should have said that back then when I was super skinny. I had, three kids and I wasn't gaining any weight. That's when you should have said you look unhealthy, right?
Mhm.
So I'm thinking, thank God I have a healthy brain because otherwise, again, I would have gone to the extremes to
Right.
maintain that, or now I will be going crazy trying to lose all that weight. So, and again, it's not a lot of weight. It's about 40 pounds, right? But still, people are so cruel sometimes. And without a healthy brain, you can go to those extremes. I have seen people that are, like you said, beautiful people before.
Mhm.
They wanted to get their nose job done. They did it. Okay, now the nose looks different. Didn't do it right. They have to redo it three, four times, where there's a
Mhm.
little left of cartilage for them to work on. And then from that nose job, I see them 5 years later, they have about 15 to 20 more surgeries. It's like, oh my God.
Yep. So, that's one of the things that I wanted to start off by saying that nothing I read from a book is what I lived, is what I experienced. And for me, Miss Nexie, when I went to a therapist the first time and they're like, "Why are you not eating?" Because, that's what anorexia is. You just don't
Mhm.
eat, literally starve yourself. And for me, I had a complex. I was like, "I don't want to get bigger."
Mhm.
And then she's like, and at that time, Miss Nexie, I was only a size 2 or 4.
Mhm.
And she's
Oh my
like,
god.
um, she's like, "Honey, you're not big." But
Mhm.
nobody couldn't say it to me. I was bigger than those who were around me. So
Mhm.
I learned a lesson during that time period, and it was, don't compare yourself to another person because they don't have your bone structure.
Mhm.
They don't have
Exactly.
your metabolism. They're not
Mhm.
you. And during
Yes.
that time is when I learned about learning to love yourself, learning to be confident. It's still, it took me many years before it stuck, but that was the beginning of my journey of self-love and acceptance, and not looking at society or comparing myself or being in competition. Um, and I like this comment Nancy says, to each their own, but we have to make wise decisions. Don't lose yourself or even your life because of what society is telling you that you should look like.
Mhm. It's well said,
Yeah.
Nancy. Well said. And I think a lot of times, again, a healthy brain is very important because and Nancy's right. Those people that praise you sometimes are the same ones that turn around and shame you. And I look at them and I'm like, okay, yeah, I've gained weight, and they do it in such a way, Miss Marlene, in front of people, like, oh my God, wow, I haven't seen you in a few years, and wow, you look, wow, like that. And
Mhm.
and
Oh
I'm
yeah.
looking at
Oh
it,
oh yeah. Oh yeah.
and the worst
Oh
thing is
yeah,
that
Miss
they are
Nexie.
bigger than me. It's like, really?
No, Miss Nexie, you know what the crazy part is, when people will shame you because, yeah, I was smaller before and now I've gotten older, but I'm also older. And I've also
Hmm.
been through some things. So, of course, you can't be the same shape and your whole life, because that's a part of life. You change and you shift and pivot. And the crazy part is the people who are talking about, "Oh, you've gained weight." And then I look at them and I'm like, I know you're not talking about weight.
Exactly.
It's like, I don't understand the mentality of people in society. They love to point fingers and tell you how you should look and feel. And I'll tell you, Miss Nexty, since I've just naturally let myself just be who I am, like accept my body shape, that I'm not going to be, because that's just not how my none of my relatives were. Nobody in my relative is like stick thin. Nobody.
Hmm. Yeah,
So,
exactly.
and I had to learn that I can't be, that's not who I am. Learn to be yourself, and I'm not saying that to make fun of somebody who is stick thin. I just mean that every single person has to accept themselves how they are. And of course, I'm always going to talk about representing yourself in a healthy manner. And I know when I had my eating disorder, I was not healthy, so I want to say
Exactly.
that too. Your level of health, not your neighbor or your friend or this person or that person or the TV. No, I mean being your level of healthy, doing what you need to do and taking care of yourself. Briella says it's never worth your health. It's not.
Yeah, I like what Robert said. Said, just tell them you got grown men or women weight or women's weight on now. Exactly. That's exactly what I'm gonna be telling them now. And you know what, Miss Marlene, the saddest thing is that these people are not at the healthiest level themselves. And instead of saying, "Hey, how you doing? Long time no see. Oh my God, I missed you," it's straight into criticizing. And they do
Mhm.
this to everybody in the family, right? And I'm
Mhm,
thinking, I'm strong. And sometimes it bothers me when they do that. And I'm a
mhm.
strong-minded person. Now, imagine how the little ones feel when these people come around and
Or
say things like that.
someone who doesn't have any confidence.
Who doesn't have any confidence. Or the little ones growing up when they say, oh my God, you're too short. Oh, you're getting too tall. Or you're too skinny. It's like, why do you have to go there? Why not just say, you know what, I'm so happy to see you. You know, you're growing very healthy. How
Mhm.
school, no, they always go straight into the body,
Yeah, they have to say,
criticizing any part of
"Oh,"
their body.
and they have to pick a part that they know, especially a young or preteen or a teenager, they're already very fragile when it
Hmm.
comes to their body, you know, their body shape and all of these things. So, they're already very sensitive, and then they're gonna highlight it. It's like, "What are you doing?
Hmm.
What are you even doing?" So that's why I'm saying we can't go by society or other people.
Standards. Exactly. I
Yeah.
thought my children, since I'm sorry to interrupt, Ms. Marlene, but
Go
I
ahead.
thought my children, since they were young, to whoever mentioned any part of their body or it criticized them in any way, I thought him to say, my mom says that how I look and how I am is none of your business. So my kids will pretty much say that to whoever went there. And then they will come to me and say, your children, why are you teaching your children to be disrespectful to their grown-ups? And I said, no, I was just telling my kids to tell you to mind your da 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 business because
But
that's exactly what I'm gonna
mind your beep and beep and beep.
yeah, and I think it was business at the end. But and again, they can make or break someone. And depending on what they hear growing up is why we have all these people getting 60, 70 procedures on them, going 60 to 70 times under under anesthesia, under the knife. And it's not healthy for your body. That is not good. And the
It
money they spend.
oh, it's disgusting. So I want to read two more comments and I want to go to the next um topic, next point. Let's see. Nancy says that I read that. Yeah, it's never worth your health. But for some folks they feel like it is. And I can say for me, Miss Nexie, when I was always comparing myself to the other person, I always felt this small. But then when took my power back, when I learned to appreciate myself, when you start looking at what you possess, not what other people possess, when I started thinking about myself and my looks and embracing, it's like I don't see anybody has eyes like me. That's rare. That's different. Nobody doesn't have shape like me or, like my family line. We all have the same body shape and stuff and the same forehead. That's different. That's unique to my family. And instead of like running from that or trying to change it, these days I've learned to accept myself and actually love it. And I wish more people would learn to love themselves, not just be delusional and be like, if you're a person who is obese or you have a problem with, I don't mean ignore the elephant in the room if you need to do something to be healthy, but I mean, don't over obsess about what other people think you should be, if that makes sense. Go out? Oh, I think it went out for a second. So that's what
As we
I
get,
think.
I'm sorry.
Oh, go
Yeah,
ahead, Miss Nancy.
exactly. Exactly. No, and again, Miss Marlene, it's all about people are always very quick to
It went out.
you should look like, or advice on how they perceive you going forward in the future if you don't look like they think you should. For me, is mind your business. How I look or don't look is on me, not on you. That's the way I feel. You know, it's It has nothing to do with that person, but they always make it their business, to tell you how you're supposed to be looking or how you're supposed to be aging.
Yeah.
It's
They
frustrating.
love to they people love to give you advice about how you should be aging, but the crazy part, like what we were just saying, Miss Nexie, they love to tell you, "Oh, you're like something is wrong with you." And then when you look at them, you're like, "You talking about me?" It's crazy. So let's go on to the next point. Society's beauty standards. Now, this is another one. We were talking about that a little bit, but society's beauty standards is harmful. Okay. It's unrealistic. Having these unrealistic standards, it can lead to your body satisfaction, dissatisfaction. And I'll tell you, Miss Nexie, you can look at yourself and be like, oh my God, look at how my body and is this and this. But if you're comparing it to something that we didn't know back way back when, and we're going to be aging ourselves back in the 80s, the 90s, when all it was, we didn't know that those magazines were airbrushed. Now, now with AI
Yes.
and all of these editing apps, you can completely remove pimples and bumps and make people's waist smaller, or do all these things. And that's the things that a younger person that has this much self-esteem is looking at somebody, and they don't know they're looking at an airbrush product, or somebody who has had so much plastic surgeries or so many other things that before we even see it, it's all, and they have all these hours of hair and makeup and this and that. That's
Mm.
why that it looks so good, because it's not 100% real.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, even back then, there were like some models that I will see in magazines or whatever, and sometimes I would tell my sister, "Oh my God, that bathing suit looks so good on her. I bet it won't look as good on us." And then my sister will say, "Well, first of all, they're probably twice our size. They're super tall, so we will never be that skinny, right? Our legs will never be that long. It will probably look the same as it looks on them, but it will probably still look good on us." That's what my older sister will say to me, because it's going to be worn by somebody that is different to them. So the color is nice, the length of the bathing suit or whatever, the coverage is good. So I think we will look good. Maybe not like her, because as she's taller, she's skinnier. It has nothing to do with us, but the bathing suit will still look good. She was,
Mhm.
I don't know what you're saying.
Yeah,
And I
yeah,
wasn't like saying I wish I would look like her. I just said, it will never look like that.
yeah.
But my sister will always put me on my place.
Yeah, and that's the thing, that you have to have people around you, because I know, like, a lot of times as women, we can be so tough and hard on ourselves. We could be, oh my goodness, like my hair is terrible, or my skin is this, and I've gone weight, and I gotta, and now I have a bigger butt, and now I have this, and I have this, and I have that. And the things that you're complaining about, and I have to tell my friends, I was like, do you know people are paying to get those? They're paying to get those. They're paying to get that. So stop complaining about stuff. And I say that, not just to my friends, but I say this to all my loved ones on this channel. Learn to accept yourself. And the comment from Realist says it goes from being perfectly fine to try to upgrade to actually looking like a complete downgrade.
Hmm. It's
Yeah.
true. It's
Mhm.
true. I've seen people that have continuously gotten things done on them, and I see them, like I've seen them on the street, years later, and I don't recognize them because they recognize me and said hi, but I'll be thinking like, who is this person? And then they say, remember we met, blah 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 blah. I'm so and so and so. Oh my God, yes. How are you? And it didn't hit them that I didn't recognize them because they have had so much done. They probably thought, oh, it's been so many years that she probably, doesn't recognize me, whatever. But they look so different. I
Yeah.
and there's so many also, to achieve that non-realistic body image, or people call it self-improvement, right?
Mm,
You give up a lot of your time with family, friends, and enjoying life to recover from all of that.
yes. Oh, and Miss Nexty, let's get into talking about the next part about this. Society's beauty standards are expensive.
Yes, ma'am,
They're
they are.
expensive. The social, the what do you call it? The plastic surgeries, the all the makeup and the lip cream and the this and that and the weaves and the this and all of the what are those high shoes, stilettos and this and I'm just talking about lady stuff. I'm sure that there's things for guys like the expensive this and the most expensive shoes and sneakers and this and that, and all those things are material things. And don't get me wrong, your girl, I like some quality things. I like some expensive, as I call luxury items, because I'm
Hmm.
that girl. I like luxury, but at the same time, but at the same time, Miss Nexie, I'm not going to sacrifice having things to be able to put on this persona or this front, like, oh, look at me, I have all of this. I'm a better person. We're not better people because we have more.
Mm. Yep. And again, we are all different shapes, right? We, different heights, different everything. Comparing to the standard, which is only 5% of the population, the beauty standards that they have out there in the social media world, that it's only like 5% of our population that look like that, probably 10%.
Yes.
Going that way when 95 to 90% of the population look like me, it's again, it's not healthy.
Yep.
It's not, something that should be even taken into consideration. But again, a lot of people are not strong enough not to get influenced by that image, right?
Exactly.
They want to achieve that no matter what. And they put themselves into this crazy diets. They give themselves, I'm going to lose so much weight by this time. I don't care what I have to do. And if I don't lose the whole thing, and even if they have a little bit of belly still, they still go under the knife because I want to get all that fat out and I want to put it somewhere else so that my body can look a different way. But a lot of this, people don't know, if they're, the person doing the procedure doesn't tell them, is that because it's your own body fat and your body knows that it doesn't belong there, it's gonna
Reject
disintegrate
it.
it, it's gonna eat it, no, it's gonna use it up and say this doesn't go there, so let's get rid of it any way we can. So in 5 years you're gonna have nothing of that you transfer in the areas that you thought was
Yes,
going
you
to stay
couldn't.
forever because it doesn't belong there. So the
Mhm.
body itself gets rid of it.
Yes. It's like that saying, you know how like when people go and they think that they're gonna go and get themselves and look good, so they go in and people look at them and say, "Ooh, girl, like they you go in and you look good already," and then you come out and everybody's like, you go in like, "Ooh, girl, like you look good already," and then you come out, and everybody's like, "Ooh, girl, no."
You look in pain. You look
My
like you're
dad
in a
used to
lot
always
of
say,
pain.
"Never, don't go in and come out with no ooh girl. I don't want you to be like ooh girl. No, 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 no. You're fine right now, how you are." And a lot of times, people don't have individuals in their life telling them that you look good. You're fine. You know, and there's people who they don't have a safe space because some people unfortunately have very toxic, manipulative, mean, evil relatives or people around them that always are, you know, saying hurtful things, little slick remarks and over again. And people always say, "Oh, I'm just playing with them." But Miss Nexie, I'm telling you, it's not funny.
Yeah, it's
I,
not. You
I've been through that my whole life with people. Oh, you're so skinny. You're so skinny. You're so skinny. And they thought when I was younger that was a compliment. It's not.
it's not. It's I read a saying that said it went something like um you have to I think it said you have to promise yourself to give so much time to the improvement of yourself that you have no
Mhm.
time to criticize others.
Yep.
And and that is a very I thought that was a really good saying because continuously improve yourself so that your tongue doesn't hurt anybody else. You don't have time to be criticizing. And people are very
Mhm.
quick to do that, especially our family members, which is where,
Ooh,
where it hurts the most because
hurts.
um, they are someone that you think are supposed to love you unconditionally. And sometimes you take what they say so much to heart that you hurt yourself in the process of achieving
Yep.
perfection for them,
Mm-hmm.
right? So
Yes.
for me is, continuously improve yourself. That way you don't have time to criticize anybody else.
Yep.
Be
And
busy
what
and hold your
realists was
tongue.
right. And what realist was saying, there's a decent percentage of people who have become unalived because they go to the extent of trying to do these surgeries or trying to, starve themselves or try to do these, what do they call those? What do you call those, like extreme diets where they're only
Hmm.
eating like carrots or they're only eating like just some really weird stuff
Celery,
that is
not even carrots because those have sugar. So
yeah.
celery or broccoli
Yeah,
or
but you
whatever.
know what I mean, like
Yeah.
these weird,
Yes.
like not balanced diets and following a trend to like lose 60 pounds fast. But guess what, Miss Nexley? They lost the 60 pounds and like sometimes right before they get to the goal, they wind up unaliving themselves because the body can't sustain because it was a
Yes.
normal, healthy. So
Yes.
we don't want to go
I
back.
have been, I have witnessed people that are on a fast all day. They're fasting and they eat only once a day. And, I've witnessed them fainting in front of us, like from time to time because they're so
Hungry.
hungry, they're so unhealthy, and they go all day with no food. And I'm like, they only eat dinner and they only eat from this hour to this hour, and that works. Yeah, they're skinny, they are very skinny, they are looking good at the age that they're in, but it's an unhealthy habit.
Very
Because
unhealthy.
if you're an active person, you're going to need a lot more energy than what you're putting into your body at the moment. And that's when they faint because have overused their fuel.
Yep. They're not balanced. And that's what we're talking about. Society's beauty standards is not about balance. It's not about affordability. It's not about your health. It's not about listening to your body. It's only about making yourself be perceived in this way. No matter what. You know how like and another thing about these beauty standards, like they hurt. Like
Hmm.
every these stiletto shoes, they're the most uncomfortable
I'm telling
shoes.
you, they're most uncomfortable shoes, Miss Marlene. I know.
And those, what are those things? Those waist trainers, all this stuff. Don't get me wrong, there's a time and a place for certain things like Miss Nixie, you have the stiletto that it's just the car to the in the restaurant or
Hmm.
the car to like going into the
Yes.
event. and then you have a
Yes.
different shoe that you put on
You have,
in
in your purse, you have those little ballerina flats. Yes,
yes,
ma'am. I even get on my ballerina flats, go straight into the door, and then change my shoes, go into the event, come out, and then change my shoes again. You cannot even walk in them because they hurt
been
so
there, done
much.
that. Mhm.
Yes,
And
and
I have to
you
say
spend all that money.
before we even go inside, like, okay, where am I going to? Okay, because this shoe is only going to go 100 feet.
And then I'm gonna go sit down because that's exactly what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna go sit down, and that's all these shoes going to do. Look pretty on my feet when I'm sitting down. I'm not dancing on
Mhm.
them. I'm not going up, to say hi to everybody. They gotta come to me
Miss
because they hurt.
Nexie, Miss Nexie, you know what those shoes are really made for. We're grown over here. We already know what those shoes are made for. Okay, so
Now,
that's where those shoes belong. This
yes,
that's it is, and as we get older, we just got to be honest about those things. Okay, you put them on, you know they're going to be off in a minute. It's just
yes,
it's how it
and,
is.
and they're not made for for us regular perfect body type of person. They're not made for someone with a little meat in the right places. They're meant for people that don't have any meat in the right. That there's no overweight on them. You know what I mean? Like it's. I went to my son's wedding and I had these shoes on and they were like, oh my God, they were pinching my feet. I As soon as the ceremony was done, I went and changed my shoes. I was like, forget that.
Now, Miss Nexie, I'm in the phase of my life where I know how to speak up for myself. They're like, "Oh, you got to wear this." I was like, So what's going to happen is I'm going to wear this because that's what you've asked me to. But when it comes to my feet, I'm going to be in these Converses. Okay. You guys later. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they're not going to see your feet anyways. So why do you
Thank
care
you.
what I have on? You're not going to see my feet. So
Yep.
I'm going to be right in these Converses or my whatever, my high tops or whatever.
Or just my regular tennis shoes, but that's
Yeah.
exactly. I'm gonna be
that-
very
That's
comfortable. And even if the person that is gonna be, my partner there, even if it's taller, I don't care. I'm gonna be on my flats.
That's crazy. But okay. Now this is another one. Society beauty standards that is unrealistic, okay? This is another one. Perpetuated by social media. Now, Miss Next,
Mm.
you know
Hmm.
about all of the trending on all social medias. You know, I'm not going to speak on all of the social media sites. We all know the names of them, but it exposes people to like a certain body type, a certain lifestyle, having all of this fancy car, shoes, this, that, flashy, all this blinged jewelry, having this and hair and you know, all of this that is none of it is real. It's one of those
Hmm.
things. It's like they look like a not even a Barbie doll, Miss Nexty, because I remember when I was younger, my Barbie dolls didn't have the hair to their kneecaps.
Hmm.
Barbie doll's hair was like, to your shoulder. So it's like now you can't even say people are trying to look like a Barbie doll because I don't see any Barbie dolls that look like
Yeah.
how the young women and the young men look today. And I'm not saying it to be disrespectful. I'm saying it to be real. It's
Hmm.
like they're saying this looks good, and I say it doesn't. So that's why you have to know yourself and what you want and what you like, and don't let other people tell you what looks good. You got to know your own self.
Exactly. And the saddest thing is there's certain sports too that they make you have to lose weight or have to, shrink a little. Certain job types too that they want you at looking at a certain weight, a certain, type. And it saddens me because the people that, use those places that want you to look to perfection, are run and are board, are used by normal looking people. That the last thing they're gonna pay attention to is if the person tending to them is overweight or not, it's tall enough, or is long hair or whatever. They just want service. But a lot of
Yeah.
times that's what happens is when you want to go into a certain sport. Like I knew someone that loved ballet. They wanted to dance. They wanted to do all of this, but because their puberty hit and their front chest started growing, it didn't meet the standards anymore.
Hmm.
Yeah. So,
Wow.
that person had to quit because I guess they were too big for that. And it's sad that
That's
you had to quit.
I'll say a little bit, but I'm not gonna reveal too much. But there are certain sports that they have out there, Miss Nexie, and they were like, you're gonna have to bandage yourself. So basically bandage a girl's chest
Mhm.
because you can't show that you have that much because that's
Mhm.
too, what did they say? That's too like seductory. You're too
Mhm.
you're too vivacious, you're too, like, and I'm like, "What are you talking about?" I was like, "I'm 13."
Exactly.
I'm looking at my dad like, "What are oh, vivacious, what is that?" "Oh, seductive, huh?"
Your dad is
Like,
like, we gotta go. That's what it means. We
yeah,
got to
and my
go.
dad's like, why are you telling this to" so those are the things that people tell their children. That's too much or that's not enough. Who are other people to tell you what is acceptable and what's not?
Yeah. Hi, Flirt. Hi,
Hey,
Robert.
Flick, how are you doing? Welcome. Yes, Robert. I see. When I was younger, I was a different person. I would always be like, "Oh," because I didn't like to rock the boat. I never wanted to say anything. But then when I stepped into my own, I'm like, "No, I'm not gonna do that. Okay, I'll wear that dress, but Marlene, I'm going to wear those with." Everybody said, "We know what you have underneath that skirt." And I said, "Mind your business," but it
Mm.
is Converse's.
Look at what Robert said, the last comment.
Robert says, I remember when my mother only bought my sister black baby dolls. Yep, because that's what they had. See, now Miss Nexie, this is going to be a controversial thing, but my mom used to say because we were black that my
Mm,
mom wanted me to play with only the white baby dolls. 'Cause And
mm,
my dad would be like, "Why can't?" And my mom wouldn't let me get one.
hmm.
But don't you think that's kind of weird?
Yeah, that is weird.
My dad was like, why don't you let her get something that looks like her? And my mom says, she sees enough of us. She needs to see something. My mom was kind of saying, like, I want her to see something else and say that's beautiful too. I guess my mom was trying to expand my
Y-
mind.
yes, and say, you have to play with everybody, not just
And
people
I
of
and
your
I
own.
wasn't I was having a fit. I said, I don't want Christina.
Well,
I want
I remember growing up, Miss Marlene. Now that Robert said about the dolls, I remember growing up, they didn't have that many black Barbies or black baby dolls, right? There were only a handful of them from certain people, like certain brands, but they didn't have as many as we have now. We have choices now, right? We have the Hispanic one, the white one, the black one, you know,
Yep.
the we have all kinds of dolls. We
Yep.
don't have to just stick to the one we have. But I remember when that was the case. I even remember one time we were at they gave us I think it was probably Christmas if I remember correctly. I think it was Christmas. And one of my cousins is dark skin, right? Um, and I remember we went to get some gifts, and the lady specifically gave her the gift, and all of us opened our gifts, and we were so excited. And my cousin got the dark doll, and we were like, "What the heck?" Because we've never seen the difference between, anything like that. Like it was our first experience. But my cousin
Hmm.
grabbed one of the gifts, and the lady took it away and said, "No, no, this one is yours." And she gave her
Mm,
that specific package, and it was wrapped, so we didn't see it until we opened them. We all had like light skin, little dolls, which I didn't like dolls anyway, but we all got those, and my cousin got a dark one.
mm. To
Yeah, I
show
think
her that
that's
she was different.
I think that was the first time that, we experienced, with my extended family, we experienced discrimination because my
Mm,
cousin had already grabbed one of the gifts because that's what they said, go ahead and grab one, whichever you
okay.
want. The only thing they did have separately was the boys and the girls because they didn't want to mix them. And
Okay.
and it was it was like a in a big hall, like, and I think it was the
Mm,
fire department donated the gifts, the Red Cross too. So there were a whole bunch of gifts wrapped up, and that separated them by boys and girls. And I get
mm.
that because you don't want a boy grabbing a doll or a little girl grabbing a car, right? So they
Well,
did it
my
like that.
dad used to think differently, Miss Nexie.
Oh no, yeah, but this is an event, so we didn't even have a saying there.
Yeah.
And I remember my cousins and my brothers, they used to play dolls with my sisters. Oh, we're gonna play house. And everybody had, grab the babies crying, whatever. Yeah, I remember
Hmm.
us playing all of those games. But I don't know why I remember that because we were so young, and she said, "No, no, not that one. Let me give you this one." And it was weird. And my cousin was sad because hers was the only doll that was different from ours. So weird.
Yeah, that's one of those occasions. If you were going to give a doll and there was one that was going to be different, everybody was going to get the same doll. If you were going to get a darker skin, all everybody was getting the same doll. I don't believe in doing the discrimination thing. I don't like that at all.
Yeah, it was different. We were probably like 8 years old back then.
Mm,
I think my cousin is younger than us, a couple of years. But still, it
mm,
was something that, we had never experienced. And my older sister got upset, and she went back and gave the doll back to the lady. And she said, "Give me another gift. We don't want this one." And it wasn't because she didn't want it, the darker doll. It was just that what the lady did to my cousin. I didn't think of it as bad, but my sister was really
yeah,
upset because
yeah. She
my
because
cousin
she
got
knew.
discriminated. And my dad said, "I feel like I'm gonna give that lady a piece of my mind." But my sister said, "No, it's okay. I handle it, Dad." And she went back and she got the same because if we were gonna get all, darker colors, all of us wanted them. If we were gonna get the white ones, all of us were gonna get the white ones. You know what I mean? It was like six of us all together. It was
Hmm.
just weird. It was
Yep.
just weird.
Yeah, that's and that makes everybody feel like uncomfortable and like when you're a kid and everybody's looking at their doll babies. We used to call them doll babies. I'm
Hmm.
aging myself.
There used to
So
be doll babies.
now they're just dolls.
Yes.
But I remember and you look and everybody's looking at it and you be like, why is mine different? And let
Hmm.
me tell you, Miss Nexie, back in the day when they used to make a darker, a melanated doll, her
Hmm.
hair was never nice.
I noticed that too.
They used to make our hair like a Brillo pattern. I'm not saying that to throw shots or anything at anybody, but I'm just being honest. And that's one of the reasons why my mom used to be like, my mom didn't like that, but I guess she was trying to make herself not feel uncomfortable because I used to be like, my hair isn't like that, or my skin is
Exactly.
not that dark, or I don't, my body shape isn't like that. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
So I think that's why my mom was like saying that without saying it. Because, back in the day, parents didn't talk about those uncomfortable things like discrimination and racism and all that stuff. So my mom was basically saying that I was the same as
Hmm.
the white doll, which I didn't understand. And I was like, Mommy hates me. She bought me this.
I never, I just didn't like playing with dolls. My nieces did, and they were feeding the babies. They were
Mhm.
like, changing the little diaper. They will make like my sister will make them diapers, cloth ones, and they would change their diapers and they would put them to bed. And I was like, what's the fun in that? It's so boring. I want to go climb a tree or something.
No, no, Miss Nexie. My mom only bought me like two or three dolls because me being the engineer, I cut them open because I wanted to see what was inside of them.
I think we all did. I think well, there's some girls that take really good care of their toys. Oh my God. Their baby
I
dolls
wanted to
are
know
their
what was
hair
in
like,
them.
yeah, but
So,
there's some kids that do take really good care of their toys.
mhm,
Like, my
yep.
niece used to put her little baby, she will brush her hair and, have her all
Mhm.
nice dressed up, put her pajama at night. My baby looked like she just put her fingers inside
The
the
socket,
electrical socket. She looked all messed up and dirty.
Miss Nexie. As soon as I got mine, within like 2 minutes, I already popped off her head.
Just to see how, you
I
know
was
when I
like,
did
"What's in
that?
there?" And I was like looking in
I
there. It was like
wanted to
hollow. Take
see,
a flashlight.
yeah, I did that to see why the baby moved her eyes. Because
Yeah,
when they come
I
out of
didn't
there, they
like that
close their
stuff.
eyes.
Yeah.
I
Hmm.
wanted to
Oh
know why
no,
she was closing them.
Miss Nexie, I put sunglasses on mine because I didn't like that the doll's eyes moved because I was like, nah.
And
I
that
was like,
freaked me
nah.
out.
It freaked me out.
I wanted to see how she did it. And then because my brother said, "Oh, I know why your doll is possessed." I was like, "What? I didn't know what possessed meant." But I wanted to see what it was. And I told her, I was like, I don't want that one. She's freaky.
Yeah. Robert said we were dangerous with dolls. My dad already said, you can't give these kids nothing. They don't know anything about nice. And it wasn't that. I have always had the engineer mindset. I have to find out how things worked. If there was a
Yeah,
radio, I was going to open it up because I wanted to see what wires and how did they connect. I was thinking forward. I was not trying to like
exactly. Or,
destroy.
or you want to
I
know
was
how long
thinking,
it
how does
takes?
this work?
Yeah,
Yeah.
or how long does it take for their hair to burn? You want to know all those things. No, I mean, you're not going there? Okay, I'm sorry. Let's go
Miss
back to normal
Nexie,
people talk.
I used to cut their hair, and then I would take it and like weave it into things, like I would sew it into my brother's clothes. I was I was a different kid.
Remember when the ones that grow their hair, the
Yeah.
little dolls that came out that grow their hair
Yeah,
back?
you raise
Well,
their hands and their hair would
yeah.
grow.
Well, my daughter saw that on a commercial, and then she went and cut her baby doll. She cut all of her hair and was waiting for the hair to grow back. And then she started crying because it wasn't growing back.
I'm done.
I was like, that's not even the same doll. But on TV, mom, the little doll, she grew her hair back, and I'm like,
Whew.
it's
That's
not the same one.
that's how you know we were dangerous. I will say that, Miss Nexie. You and I, we were
Yeah.
dangerous as the young girls, and I know that there was quite a few boys, like, my brother used to be like, G.I. Joe, like, all the G.I. Joes and all of their little toys and stuff. Yeah, had to find a way you know, to
Open them.
destroy them. We used to try everything like, how fast is it gonna before they melt and become flat as plastic
Yeah. So
and
we
melt
wanted to
down.
figure out how long it took to make the toys, right?
But I thought after you melted them down, you would be able to form them back.
It doesn't work that way.
Yeah. And my dad would be like, what are those blobs on the floor? I was like, G.I. Joes. And my dad would be like,
And your brother's so mad. Again, it's it was so simple back then because I remember there were so many things that they will show on TV. I noticed before too that they will show a lot of the super cool toys on TV, and it was a like if it was a car or a doll, whatever, it was like a whole bunch of kids playing outside with the toy.
hmm
I notice nowadays they're all indoors. You notice that they're all
yeah,
like inside. Most of them are inside, and the kid is playing with it alone, and it was so weird because they were more like a family type of thing. That
yeah,
commercials back then, that was different.
Miss Nexie. It was things were different. So, okay, we got one more point and we're going to get out of here, Miss Nexie.
Go
Okay.
for it, Miss Honey.
So, society's beauty standards, it has to do with your culture. Okay. So
Yes.
beauty standards are different based on culture. It's like the people who have tattoos on their face, or people who have piercings in their nose, or all different types of things, or it's how people wear their hair. It's
Hmm.
so many different things. So for different cultures, for women are should not have hair, and for other cultures women have to have long hair. So it's things are different.
But you see, when you have a type of when you're talking about cultural, sometimes it has to do with their beliefs, right, their religion, or the customs that they have followed throughout the journey of that particular culture. But when you come from that and then you come to a country or another country that it's trying to mold you to a standard that they think is the right size, the right height, the right weight, that's when those things can get obscure. You forget about how your culture is, because I know that on certain parts of my country, people are shorter, right? A little bit darker and a little bit more like, more curves, a little more heavy than in other areas of my country. But now you come here and you have to be a certain height. You have to be super skinny, right? You have to fit that form, or you get criticized if you don't. That
Mhm.
mold. I'm sorry. If not, you get criticized. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
and
hard.
like, because my culture we come from Jamaica, and in my culture we're kind of like more conservative and modest in dress.
Hmm.
So things are different here in the United States, and
Hmm.
like I remember like I grew up in that upbringing to dress modestly and all of those things. But after you're here for a while, you start to want to be like other people. But I don't think you have to know yourself when it comes to how you want to fix your hair, to if you want to wear makeup, you don't want to wear makeup, how you want to dress, and all of those things. But the most important thing, I think, for the ladies and for the gentlemen, for you to make sure you're doing something because you like it,
Hmm.
not because society or other people or to please a group of people. But do you like it? Do
Yeah,
you
do you
want to
fit
do
that?
this or not?
And,
Mhm,
and it's same for me. Where I come from, it's we grew up very poor, right? My dad didn't have a lot of money. I was raised by my dad. We didn't have a lot of money growing up. And my dad didn't really, because I guess, he was a man raising girls, he didn't really encourage makeup or anything like that. He actually didn't like us to be wearing like a lot of makeup. Um, you know, he, I don't know, it was weird, but we weren't accustomed to that. So I come here and everybody, wears makeup. There's stores full of of makeup. I have never gotten used to that, Miss Marlene. I don't wear makeup, you know. I don't
mhm,
like it. I don't feel comfortable. I feel like I look different when I have makeup on. I look so
mhm,
different, and I'm not used to that image. So I don't wear makeup. I don't like it.
mhm,
Sometimes, yes, of course, you have to kind of fix your face because you're gonna go somewhere, right? But on an
mhm,
everyday basis, even to go to work, I don't. I wear my hair up and just
mhm,
um, a little bit of moisturizer on my lips, and that's pretty much it.
mhm.
Like, I don't like makeup, and I don't even know how to wear it. I continuously take off my eyeshadow, so I don't even. They look at me. They're like, "What's wrong with your eyes? The only one eye has the eyeshadow. The other one doesn't have color. So just go on and take off the other one." Or I put a little bit of rouge, and then I touch my face, and they're like, "Only one cheek has it, so remove the other."
Yes. See,
So I'm
see,
not used to it.
See, and Miss Nexie, I'm the complete opposite. I'm a girly girl. I love all things makeup. I've been wearing makeup since I was 12 years old. I love,
Yeah.
love, love makeup, but I have a balance with that too.
Uh
I'm not
huh.
in it. I feel like I wear makeup, but I don't feel like wear makeup to look like a clown.
Yeah. You just wear
I
makeup, just a little bit of makeup.
I wear, and I don't even feel like I really wear makeup how I see girls on social
Oh my
media wear makeup.
God.
I don't
Those
do all that stuff.
tutorials.
L like they do, like, baking and concealing
Yes.
and all of this stuff and contouring and all. I know those things because I am an esthetician and I know how to do that makeup, but I don't do that kind of makeup. For me, makeup is I wear lipstick, eyeshadow, mascara, and a little face powder, but I don't do all of the I don't know. I don't even
Yeah.
know what they're all called, but I don't do all that stuff. I do simple makeup and then I have my times where I just do lip gloss. It depends.
Yes. Yeah, not me. I was watching a tutorial. My daughter said, they teach you because my girls are the same as me. They don't wear makeup.
Mhm.
Only like when they go out. But on a day-to-day basis, they don't. They never got used to it because I'm not like that. So
Yeah.
they don't really wear makeup, you know. So, lip gloss, yes, but putting all those, like you say, like bake or whatever it is that they put on their face. My
Mhm.
daughters are the same as I am. We
Mhm.
don't spend money on that. Like we really don't. Of course, perfume and lotions. We like
Right.
those. We wear those. But when it comes to makeup, I'm very conservative on that. But my daughter says, there's videos now, mom. There's tutorials that teach you how to apply makeup on. So there I go, looking on YouTube to see how I do that. And then I see the girl putting, okay, you put this base here, and then you do the eyes like this, and then you put this other thing on your nose to slim it down, and then she put like 15 things before she put her I mean her eyeshadow and her lips and everything. And when she finished, she looked totally different than the
Like
girl
a
that
different
started with the
person.
makeup. So I'm like, no. Who has time for that? Okay, who has time for that?
Miss
Not this
Nexie, one
girl.
Miss Nexie, one day I'm going to do that and show you guys how different I can look. I'm gonna do it
Yes.
one day. I'm gonna do a full makeup like how I know how to do that for my clients. One day I'm going to come on here and you're going to say, don't ever
Where's
do that
Marlene?
again.
Where's Marlene at? Imposter, get out of there. Where is Marlene at?
I
No,
know my brothers, they do not like when I do the what do they call the fake laugh. They hate it.
yes.
My brothers are like, pluck those things off. It was like, please, because they're like, why do you keep blinking? I was like, I'm not. That's you blink because you have lash. He's take those off. They can't stand it.
Yeah, no, my dad will grab his when we used to wear like, lipstick, like red lipstick or whatever, my dad will grab
Mhm,
his handkerchief and clean it off of our mouth. You don't need that much. You don't need that on your mouth. And clean it off. Okay, there you go. You look better now.
mhm. Yep.
But some people can do that makeup, but when they take it off, they look nothing like the
Yeah, but
face they
but Miss
had
but
on.
Miss Nexie, the reason why a lot of women put the makeup on is because their skin is not in a good condition. You know,
Probably.
they put the makeup on to cover up the blemishes. So instead of getting into skincare and getting your
Mm,
skin healthy, they pile on all this makeup to cover up the whatever the blemishes.
yeah.
And for me, as an esthetician, I always have to boost that. You got to take care of your skin. You got to take care
Mhm.
of your skin, that whether you have the makeup on or you have the makeup off, you still should look beautiful.
Yeah, and again, it's based on society standards, right? We see
Mhm.
a lot of, people in the industry, celebrities that, they come out with, they look beautiful with their makeup on, and then you see them without, and you're like, whoa, that's how you look, right? Because they look so much different than when they have all that on. So they're selling you all these products for you to look beautiful. This is how you're supposed to look beautiful. And they don't say, hey, no, no, no. Take care of your skin first, right? Make it better. And you don't need all these products.
I know.
So people
And
go based on that's how everybody's wearing. So and so wears this powder. So and so wears this eyeliner. So and so wears this. So they're going for that look that society is dictating that you got to look
mhm,
like, and not staying with no, that doesn't feel comfortable for me. So I like me. My skin is
mhm.
not perfect. That's fine. I'm doing everything I can to take care of it, but I don't like all that makeup.
Yep. Yep. That's it. And I'm glad that you know yourself and you know what you like. But as for Marlene, you're very rarely gonna see Marlene without makeup because I just because
She
I
likes it.
because I like it. And that's one of the things that like I like to share that. Don't change yourself for other people. Miss Nexty doesn't like it. Marlene likes it, but I also know how to enjoy life. Like I'm not like I can't go outside without makeup. I'm not unbalanced with it either. I just love it. I
The
love
lamb chops.
yes, yes.
Eyelashes.
Yes. But you remember that show, Lamb Chops Sing Along? What's that song where kids come to, what was that song where kids come to play along? I'm aging myself. But it was a show called Lamb Chops Sing Along. That's what it always, whenever I see those
Yeah,
strip lashes, no.
those things are weird.
Those things are weird.
They're weird.
They could get up and walk away. I was like, no. Mm-mm. I don't do the strip lashes. You don't even know, Miss Nexie, because I've worn the individuals and you don't even know when I wear them.
See? That's
Mhm,
different than putting all that. But again, you can I there was a long time ago, this lady came on a show that she said she was gonna show she had been married to her husband for 23 years, and he had never seen her without makeup.
what?
Yes. She will wear it to bed and then wait until he was asleep, take it off, and then get up before he did to put her face back on. And then go on with her day. But she used to wear makeup every, like he had never seen her without makeup. Like she took
So
it
what
off
about when
the
she's taking a shower and stuff?
well, I guess she puts it on before she comes out of the shower. But the thing is that that was the first time he was gonna see her face without makeup, and she was crying. She felt very uncomfortable. And I was thinking, like, how do you not? How does your husband not see you without makeup for 23 years? Like, wow,
Okay, that's one of the
that's
things
commitment.
I'm like, do you really know your mate? These people,
Exactly, that's
these people
commitment.
I was like, this I'm sorry, Miss Nexie. Some people are weird. Okay.
Oh,
That's
look at what
weird.
Robert said. Sherry
Uh,
Lewis and Lamb Chop sing along.
yeah, that's the show I used to watch when I was a little girl. I know the whole song. I do. Really do.
Oh, Miss Marlene, you're aging yourself
I don't care,
on
Miss
that show
Nexie.
tonight.
Yes, I love that. I loved that show. I even wanted that puppet, but my mom says there's no way I'm getting you a puppet that's a lamb with those fake eyelashes. So I never got one. Yeah.
Rico has one. He's had it for so long, and he named the little lamb what was Molly. Molly. I was gonna say Dora, but no, it was Molly. So we used to call him that's cousin Molly because he was with the lamb shop everywhere. Well, the lamb, I just called her lamb shop, but she wasn't a lamb shop. She was a lamb. Maybe it's that show that he probably. I'm gonna look
Hmm.
into that, Miss Marlene.
Yep. But look into it, Miss Nexie. And look at
I
that.
will.
And just like that, Miss Nexie, we have been on live over an hour and a half.
Oh my God. Okay, we got to go.
Yeah, we got to go. It's been fun. Robert, I'll sing it to you on Instagram.
Uh-oh. We gotta do a sing along. You gotta do a little lyrics, and we all
Yeah,
gonna sing
we have
along.
to
So, Miss
get
Marlene,
but that has to be members only because
yes,
I'm gonna have my
Marlene,
karaoke machine.
that would be fun. Robert, you have to keep reminding her we need to see the sing along to Miss
But
Marlene's karaoke.
but Miss Nexie. Oh, I forgot to tell you guys what's coming in another, not next week, Saturday, the weekend after that. It's going to be me and Boss Life Online, and we're doing something, but it's a preview that is only going to be for members over here. But the first one is going to be live, but after that, it's going to be upload. And I'm telling you,
Uh-oh. If those two are together, it's a no good.
it's going to be Miss Nexie. The first topic, you have to do it for the public, That
Yes.
that one will be okay, but the one after?
Yeah, members hot and spicy.
A little,
Whistle in there.
a little cayenne pepper on it.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, yeah. Miss Nexie, even Gia was like she was blushing. So,
You guys have trouble.
yep. December
Okay.
14th. So December
Okay.
14th, make sure you set it on your calendar. We're going to do a live that day. I'm not sure of the time, but I'm going to put it on the community tab. But it's going to be me and Gio up to no good. And then after that, maybe a month from now, like January 14th, we're going to see if we can get Miss Nexie to come on for and be, yeah,
Yes.
and be you know you know
On
so,
camera, full exposure. No good.
yeah. Yeah,
I'll
but
do
it's
it.
gonna be members only, so it doesn't matter. So,
Oh, I'll do
yeah.
it. No, even if it's not good, even if it's all members. I don't care. Let's do this.
So, yeah, it's
Oh
gonna
my
be some
God, I'm
fun
blushing. I don't even know what it's
conversation.
all about.
Yeah, and I told, Gio probably, some things that, yeah, it will never reach the public.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Yeah,
That's no
and we've
good.
talked about this, Miss Nexie. You know what we're talking about. We'll talk offline
Yes.
about it, but yeah,
Yes.
yeah. So
Yeah,
thank you
we'll
guys.
discuss it offline.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So thank you guys so much for tuning in to my awesome co-host.
Thank you, Miss Marlene. Thank you, everybody, for joining us and for listening to all the crazy stuff we talk about in the sip and chat. And we appreciate you guys very, very much. And thank you for having me, Miss Marlene.
Thank you so much, Miss Nexie. And shout out to all the amazing mods. Thank you, Miss Tamika, Robert, Realist One here, Flurg, and I think Serious
Serious
for a little bit.
Nancy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, and Miss Nancy, yes. So shout out to all of you guys and shout out to all of the channel members. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. You
It's gonna
wait
get
for 1 month.
spicy.
In 1 month from now, like what's that?
Uh-oh.
January the 14th. That's gonna be the first upload for the members only.
All right.
Yeah. Okay.
Well,
Okay,
be on the
guys.
lookout.
Be on the
Thank
lookout. Bye
you. Bye,
guys.
everybody. Have a lovely evening. Bye,
Have a
Miss
lovely
Marlene.
evening. See you guys back regularly scheduled program this coming Thursday.
Yeah,
We're
for our
back
super chat.
to yeah. Okay. Bye guys.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.